What's up, guys? I'll wait for some of you guys to tune in. I'm back. We're doing a whole series of videos. I wanted to do a different look today, so I put on a bold lip, as we can see. All right, I'm just gonna get started, because you know. All right, so the topic today is how to create your own work. So, hello, Seth! Oh my God, everyone's here! So, how to create your own work is a really great topic because it's really important, especially right now in these Rona times. You can create your own stuff at home. Here we are. Yes! You're my #1 fan, first person here. Mwah, love you. All right, and the queen of PR is here with us, and today we're going to be talking about how to create your own work. So, basically, my mantra about creating your own work comes down to Nike. Just do it. Literally, Nike, just do it. Okay, great. No, but seriously, just post it. Like, I don't know if you guys follow Gary Vee. I actually had to unfollow him because he was kind of annoying, but I really do respect him and like him. But he's always screaming at me to create content. He's like, content, you must create, post every day. And I'm like, whoa, you need to calm down. Like, I respect you. I appreciate you. You're very well known and famous, but like, it was a lot in my ear because he's very loud, but like, you know, it's fine. So, basically, be Gary Vee, create content, post it. It is about quality, but it also, you don't need to second guess it. My mantra, another mantra of mine, I got many mantras, okay? Hello! Yes. My other mantra about creating your own work is you can't judge your work while you're doing it. You just have to create it and let other people judge it, and they'll judge it, and you'll be judging it with them alongside them when you post it, or when you publish it, or when you present it at a gallery, or when you have your show opening, or whatever you're doing, whatever medium you're doing. There's so many different mediums you can do now, and today, in this day and age, there's so many ways for you to create content. There's Instagram, and on Instagram, there's many different ways. As you know, Reels are a brand new thing. Yes, everyone is always gonna judge, so why not just produce? Yes, Sassy, thank you. So you gotta just create the content and put it out there. Basically, there's IGTV, which is 5 minutes long, a minimum and above. There's IG Reels, which are now 30 seconds, 15 to 30 seconds, like a story, but it has more exposure and has potential to go on the Explore page. Facebook, not many people are on Facebook, at least in the demographic of like 18 to 35, it depends, but it's not as popular. YouTube is great. It's hard to get paid on YouTube, but if you have the amount of subscribers, you can get paid and you can make some serious money. TikTok, I'm not on. Everyone's telling me to get on. Yeah, I'll probably get on in this healing period of my leg being broken, so stay tuned. But TikTok is great. I've heard a lot of great things. Hello, Will. You can make money on TikTok by the amount of views are happening on there with your dances or whatever you're doing, not even dancing, you know. Twitter is great. I don't really know about really producing content on Twitter. It's more like memes and articles and trending and like that kind of stuff. But if you want to get known for memes, hello, yes, you can get on Twitter. Tumblr is great. There's so many different platforms you can get on to create content. Hello. But basically, I'm not really here to talk about what platforms to create content on. I'm here to talk about how to create your own work. So there's really not one way to create your own work. There's so many different ways you can create your own work. For me, when I graduated college, I really had a great idea, and I've never done it because I decided that it wasn't that great of an idea. But the idea was for me to create a play based on my dating experiences living in New York. And there's been so many things made about dating in New York, as we know. And like, honestly, it's not bad. It's pretty good. I mean, Sex and the City is a great show and was a great movie. The series was very successful. But honestly, like, I was like not that passionate about it, and I ended up creating something that I was really passionate about. So it really comes down to, what are you passionate about, what do you care about, and what do you think other people will enjoy seeing? Or if you don't even care, just produce the content and put it out there, and put it out there for yourself, and if someone sees it, cool. If they don't, also cool. You don't always have to produce things for other people to see unless that is your intention. Sometimes people can see it and you don't even intend for them to see it. Sometimes people can never see things that you want them to see because of marketing. Marketing is really important, but that's a whole other series that we can do. Hello. So basically, what are you passionate about? And that's a great idea to start from about creating content. So I'm going to give you guys an example. So here's an example. Think of 3 hobbies you really like to do. Yes. Okay. Mwah. Love you. Have fun cooking. Yes. If you guys have any hobbies you like, put them in the chat and I will comment and we can maybe produce something together. Like, I can help you think of ideas about how to produce your own content. But basically, here's an example. So for me, I love to paint my nails. I love to eat different types of food and try different foods. I love different cultures. I love traveling. And I also love music. So these are kind of like unrelated and kind of weird topics, right? But how can we bring them together is the question. So nail polish, food / culture, traveling. They all kind of, we'll say culture, like heritage. Food, painting, nails, culture, and music. How can we combine those three things, three things that you really love and you're passionate about? How can we combine them into making your own content? Well, I thought of this last night so I could, share with you guys. So I was thinking, since I love painting my nails and I love eating different types of food and traveling and listening to music, I could figure out a new artist, a new musician that I like to listen to, right? I could find out where they're from, what country they're from, or if they're American, if they're from here, where do their parents come from, or their grandparents, their heritage, let's say they were Italian. And I really liked, let's say I just discovered Dean Martin for the first time. Obviously, I know who Dean Martin is. He's one of my favorites. But let's just say I didn't know who he was. Okay, oh my God, Dean Martin, he's so great. Let's learn about him. Italian, cool. So I learned about him, and I'm like, okay, he's Italian. All right, so let me figure out what kind of food I've never had that's Italian. Hello! So I would be like, oh, I've never had arancini. If you guys know what arancini is, it's really good. It's a rice ball. It's fried. It's not healthy, but it's really good. Thank you. So basically, I would be like, oh, what's an arancini? I got to try that. So let's say I wanted to leave my house. Let's say I wasn't on crutches. Let's say I could just bike. Just kidding. I broke my leg biking. Okay. But let's say I did do that. I went to Little Italy. I got an arancini. I listened to Dean Martin, and not only did I do all of that, thank you, I love your energy. Not only did I do that, but I painted my nails the colors of the Italian flag. Red, green, and white. Yeah. So, let's say I did that, and I started a whole vlog, video blog, or a regular blog. I suggest the video because content is king, video is king. People want to see things, they're visual. Podcasts are really popular. There's not any money to be made in podcasts, normally speaking. And many people are not commuting anymore because people are working from home, or there are 40 million people unemployed because of the virus and our country's handling of it. So whatever they're doing, video production is number one right now. Podcasts are still popular, but I'm telling you, if you want to create content and get noticed, video. Podcasts are great, but they were more popular when people were commuting to work a few hours a day and on the trains and driving and all that. But now people are just logging on from their computer to do their corporate work, or they're just claiming unemployment, trying to figure out how they're going to make money. Even more problematic, we pray. Okay, so I dropped my paper, but I picked it up. Great, we love it. So what I would do is I would create a vlog about my traveling to different parts of the city, eating different foods and having different nails and discovering new musicians. Hello, Carly! That's my girl from the gym. Mwah, love you. Okay, so you understand creating content. You don't know what to create? Okay, let's use Carly as an example. All right, she loves the gym. Cool. I love the gym too. What else am I passionate about? Food. Cool. Maybe I can create a healthy cooking series about being into fitness, but also liking to eat good food. So the series could maybe be called Food is Fuel. Just kidding. That's actually my series. That's why I brought it up. But seriously, it's about how you can eat things and they can be healthy and not tasty, but they're also good for you, and you can also still have a sustainable life with people and be social. That's another idea. There's so many ideas. There's exercises you can do to figure out what you want to do to create content. Just think about things you're passionate about, think about how they can relate, and things can relate in weird ways. I mean, how do my nails relate to music and food? I just told you. I paint my nails into a cool flag of a musician I never heard of and figure where they're from and find out different food and go eat it and put it on video. And there's your vlog. There's an example. All right. So let's see what else I wrote. Write it down. Yes, this is important. Get a piece of paper. I'm a huge fan of real paper. Yes, I like real paper. Hello, MK. I like real paper. I like to write on paper. And honestly, just get some brainstorm. The idea of brainstorming is just write ideas down and see what sticks, They don't have to be good. They don't have to be bad. Don't judge your ideas while you're brainstorming. Just write them down and figure it out, That's the whole idea of creating. So you just want to do it and do it. Remember, people are going to judge your work. Hello. People are going to judge your work no matter what. So the idea is you need to create it and put it out, and you can judge it alongside everyone else while they're judging it, watching you. Because if you judge it while you're creating it, you're never going to put it out there. And I just finished The Artist's Way, which is a 12-week book. It's amazing. I recommend it for any artist. It's very spiritual. It's getting into your artist self. You write a journal every day. You take yourself on an artist date every week, which you get in touch with your artist self. You put new images out there. And honestly, one of the things I've heard in the book, Julie Cameron, the author, is your art is never finished. It just stops in interesting places. And that's a really good thing to remember, because like, as an artist or someone who's creating things all the time, you're always going to be like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my God, like, I'm not done yet. I need to keep perfecting this. I need to fix this. I need to fix that. And honestly, like, that's a good quality to have. But you have to make sure it doesn't get too far where you're like, oh my God, I've been working on this for 4 years and I haven't put it out there because I still want to keep fixing it. But it's actually fine to be put out there, but I'm acting like a perfectionist. And honestly, every artist is a perfectionist, and that's totally understandable. Like, everyone is, especially now with today's image-centric life. But you have to remember that, like, if you don't put it out there, no one's going to see it. So put it out there. And honestly, like, I look at the stuff that I've made years ago and I'm like, what was I doing? What was I thinking of? Hello! But then I think, and I'm like, you know what? In order for me to get to where I am today, I had to put that stuff out there and make that content years ago. And I would have never made anything I made today if I didn't put it out there years ago. I would have judged it. Yeah, everyone judges their work from years ago. If you ask Martin Scorsese what he thinks of his films when he was first coming out, he's going to be like, oh, that was shit. Just kidding. He might not say that. I don't really know. But honestly, a lot of artists are going to be like, oh yeah, years ago, I don't know what I was doing, and now I'm doing this. But then years later, they're going to be like, oh, I don't know what I was doing. Because you're always evolving and growing as an artist and as a human. And remember, as an artist, actor, model, creator, content, whatever you are in this medium, you are a human first. So your human experiences are going to inform your art experiences. What I mean by that is, if you travel the world and you get to see different countries, you get to see things you've never seen before, you're gonna be like, wow, that was so cool. I just learned about the world. I learned about how in Egypt, the children start working at 4 years old. They don't get a chance to go to college. They don't get a chance to go to school. They don't even learn they don't learn how to read and write. They're in their class system, and it's very hard for them to get out of it. Wow, I'm so grateful for what I do have being an American. This is amazing. Let me see what I can do to help these children, give them clean drinking water, start a nonprofit, or make a film about it, or a documentary, and take my camera equipment and film them so everybody in America can get a snapshot of what it's like to actually experience poverty, not the American version of poverty, which is still at a different level compared to actual like level 1 poverty. There's supposedly 4 different levels of the world. I'm reading this book called Factfulness right now, and it talks about it. But I'm just trying to give you ideas of like, you know, you experiencing poverty in Egypt and seeing what it's like to actually like to be grateful for what you have in America can inform you as an artist here and what you'll produce here as an American artist. Now, I'm not saying to be using countries for their experiences. I'm saying to go for yourself and experience the world. I mean, not like we can really travel right now because of the virus, but I'm saying like, you know, when things change, I do think things will change. I don't think this is going to be forever. But that's my opinion. Anyway, so you want to build yourself as a human, build yourself as an artist. It all comes together is what I'm saying. So this is a very important thing. This is something I always talk about. You are your own boss, especially when you're creating your own content. Now, what I mean by that is that when you're an actor or a model, right, you have to motivate yourself. You have to be like, okay, I got to submit this audition. I got to make sure I'm ready. I got to make sure my makeup's ready. I got to make sure I don't go out the night before. I got to make sure that I memorize my lines. I got to make sure that I submit it today. I got to make sure I send those emails. And the list goes on and on and on. And things are things that people never see. Like, I can't put out all the emails I sent on my Instagram and be like, oh my God, actor hustle. Like, nobody wants to see that. I mean, maybe they do. I don't know. But, like, it's also, like, so much work. And people are like, oh, you just memorize lines and record and, like, put on makeup. And it's like, no. There's so much more that happens. Hello. There is so much more that happens in the industry. So what I'm basically saying is that when you're an actor and a creator and you're an employee of other people's projects, you have to make sure you're holding yourself accountable, and you're like, okay, I got to make sure that I know my lines because this director cast me and expects me to know my lines, right? Right. Now, plot twist, if you're casting yourself and it's your own project, you really need to hold yourself accountable, because you need to hold yourself accountable because there's nobody else rooting for you in your project except you, especially if it's your own project. So, I mean, unless you have people involved, but even if you have two other people involved, you got to make sure that you're on top of your stuff, you know? So basically, like, all right, I'm auditioning for this project. I got cast. I'm going to make sure I do well. Cool. Now, I have my own project, and it's my own thing, and nobody's involved. Because, like, right now, for example, I took a lot of really cool photos of the quarantine, of the shutdown in New York, biking, the whole past 6 months, and I want to put them together in a slideshow and put it on my next IGTV. I do a monthly IGTV. I don't know what I do. Every month it changes. Started doing it in April. So this month I'm going to do that. And I have to make sure I'm like, okay, Sophia, this week, did you organize the photos into a folder? Okay. Did you start editing the project? Cool. Did you decide what music you want to put over it? Cool. Did you decide when you want to post it? Cool. Did you decide your caption, your hashtags, where you're going to post on your website, YouTube, who you're going to send it to? Are you going to submit it to projects? Are you going to try and get it seen by certain people of the industry? Like, there's so many things that go into one project, right? Now, you have to remember that if it's just my own, I'm not having anyone else involved, because I'm not for this project, let's say, I have to make sure I'm, like, staying on top of it, because otherwise I could just let it go, and it could never happen. If you guys have any questions, too, put them in the chat, and I'll read them and answer them, of course. But, yeah, so it's really important for you guys to stay on top of things and hold yourself accountable, especially when you're going to create your own work. Because creating your own work is another responsibility, and it's a bigger responsibility, but it's really amazing, and it's really empowering, because when you get to create your own work, guys, you'll never walk into an audition room the same, or a go-see, or a job interview, or whatever else you're doing in your life. You will never walk into that room or that Zoom call for, the way this year is, again, the same, because you now know that you have the power to employ yourself. And that's, like, really kind of cool if you think about it. Like, I really don't know any other job out there that waits for, I've said this before in other webinars, that waits for other people to employ them, except really acting and, like, modeling, I guess you could say. Like, other, like, finance people, they're not like, oh, well, I'm waiting to be, hit up by Moody's and Wall Street Journal. It's like, no, you're going out of your way to get in those doors. Whereas actors are like, yeah, I'm just like, submit. And it's like, no. You have to literally work 10 times harder than any other industry, because this industry is a dog-eat-dog world, and you got to be ready for that. And, like, I'm all for encouraging you, but I want to make sure you're showing up and doing your best work, and you don't want to disappoint yourself. And when you're creating your own work, you really got to make sure you're on your thing. You have your reminders, you have your deadlines, you have your check-ins. I'm a big fan of accountability. It's like one of my huge things. I'm a huge fan of it. So like this whole quarantine, I had a friend who I met in an artist accountability group through this company called Mischief something. I forgot the name. Mischief, I don't know. I'll forget the name and I'll put it in the chat. But every week on Sunday night, we met on Zoom. We talked about our artistic projects, and we basically held each other accountable. And every week, we're like, okay, we're going to do this. Now, we didn't have to complete it. We just had to do it and at least have it to show on Sunday nights. So I think that's one of the main reasons why I've been so much things I've been producing, because I've been holding myself accountable, and I've been making sure that I have someone to talk to about it, as opposed to me by myself. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to produce that. Maybe I'll do it by December. And it's like, no one's holding me accountable except myself, and that's tricky. Also, the deadlines are really important. Having deadlines really holds you accountable and makes you work better. That's why deadlines are good. It's a positive stress. It's eustress. It's not distress, not negative stress. It's a positive stress. You don't want to put them off to the last minute unless you work like that. Sometimes people work better putting things off to the last minute. I know sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I really don't know. It depends. Hello! But yeah, so basically you want to make sure you have deadlines for yourself when you're going to create your own work. And you just make sure you put yourself out there. Just do it like Nike. And there's so many different platforms. Decide who your audience is. Who is your target audience? Very important question. I'm actually taking a course online. I just started last night about who is my target audience and how to reach my target audience better. So an example would be my new project that I'm creating right now on my IGTV is going to be photography I've done in the shutdown. So who is my target audience? Let's say my target audience would be other photographers, other New Yorkers, people who have never been to New York who want to come to New York and see what it's like, people who are making content about the lockdown and want to see other parts of the world and what it was like to be locked down in New York City, a place that never sleeps, who has 8 million people, where people were sleeping and there was no one on the streets. And it's like, whoa, this is not the New York I know. And that's actually the name of it. It's going to be called Not the New York I Know. So, yeah. Anyway. All right. So, if you're going to get other people involved, like if you're going to be casting, if you're going to be directing, make sure you post the breakdowns. Reach out to people. Hey, do you know anybody who is 5'1", this ethnicity, this look, who can do stage combat for a video production on these dates? Like, you want to make sure you're very specific of what you need if you're going to create your own content and post your own things. If you're writing something and you want to get other people to read it, plenty of actors love to say things out loud, get words in their mouth, practice saying things, being in the rooms with people or Zoom. So you could do readings on Zoom with other friends, with other communities. There's many different communities who are always workshopping different productions, different plays. 1 second. Okay. So that's totally a thing. You know, on Zoom, you can do readings. You can even do readings outside, socially distanced, whatever, however people are doing things nowadays. I'm going to sneeze. All right. I hope that's not Rona. I'm kidding. It's allergies. All right. The weather's changing here in New York. It's getting a little colder. Okay. Get friends involved. So here's a great example. My best friend, Lauren E. Butler, she just moved to California. It's okay. We talk a lot. We actually created our own production and theater company called the Tadpoles. And here's an idea about how to create your own content and using ideas. So here's an idea. We were like making jokes about like creating our own work and our relationship dynamic, because she moved to New York and I basically helped her move to New York. I was already living here and she didn't live here. And I was like, this is what we need to do for the housing. It's actually what I talked about last night on my other webinar, which you can watch, about where do models live in New York. And I like basically helped her how to live here. And then I was like, listen, you need a mentor. Like, you don't know how to take the train. You don't know how to do laundry. You don't know how to eat pizza. You don't know how to go clubbing. You don't know how to do your makeup on the train. Let me help you. Let me help you is basically my character. Thank you. But basically, we wrote an entire web series, three episodes, season 1. We want to write season 2. We're going to figure out how we're going to film it because she's not here. We are not giving up. We're still going to do it. And we basically just wrote it basically about ourselves and our dynamic, which is a little more like, you know, dramatization, like funny things here, there, whatever. But we held each other accountable. We met like once a week in person, you know, last year. We wrote, we got a cinematographer, we joined Facebook groups, we asked people for help, we got extras, we did filming, we did makeup, like all of that. We talked about costumes, editing, we edited everything ourselves together. It was great. And we had a little premiere party a year ago, like this week, and it was amazing. And we're on YouTube. You can subscribe to us at the Tadpoles. How to New York is our web series, but it's basically about how to be a New Yorker. So we created content about ourselves, based on ourselves. So the idea came from within. Now, as I said before, you can think of ideas, hobbies that you like to do, and how to put them together, and that is your idea. That is your content. There's ideas. All right. This is a very extensive webinar. I could go on this for like 4 days. I'm really passionate about creating your own work. I'm really a fan of like being your own best friend, being your own boss, being your own accountability. Like if there's anything that I'm most favorite thing about the industry for me is like my ability to create my own work and empower myself that way. And honestly, like, if anybody's graduating from college, if anybody's stuck in the industry, if anybody's like, I don't know what to do, no one's casting, we're in a pandemic, I'm like, cool, you can cast yourself. Cool, you can do a lot of things by yourself or with friends, socially distanced, or literally not even meeting up with people. This quarantine, Lauren and I produced so many videos alone. We did not see each other in person. We shot it at home ourselves, edited it together on FaceTime, and splice it together and put it on IGTV and YouTube. We made a whole thing called Brovid One Night about men's pickup lines in the quarantine. We played men. My name is Seth. That was my thing. Hello. We did another one. I did one as Stefan from SNL about grocery shopping. I mean, it was just my experiences, you know, that the ideas come from my experiences, and I think everyone's ideas basically come from their experiences. So just think about your experiences in life that you think maybe like should be captioned on camera, that you think you're passionate enough to like actually put into an idea full throttle. There's an idea. Okay, so readings, Oh yeah, so basically what's really important to remember here also is, love the sirens, is you are creating, and the product, yeah, of course you're creating to make the product, which is the art, right? But you also want to remember you want to have fun in the process. Like for me, I've noticed that when I was creating my own work this whole time, and I was like getting stuck, and I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, that shot wasn't good. Oh, I don't like that. Maybe I just won't do it. Like there's points where I was just like, this isn't even funny. I want to give up. I don't want to do this. But I was like, no, we have accountability partners. No, we spent so much time writing the script, memorizing this, doing all this, getting the products, getting the props, doing the makeup, everything. I need to do this. And I was like, you know what? I need to just have fun with it. That's what I'm missing. I need to just have fun with it. And that is so important. Why are you guys artists? Because you want to have fun with it. Yes. So make sure you're still having fun in the process. Yes, the product is important. Yes, you're creating it for the product. Yes, you want people to see. But if you're not having fun with it and enjoying the process, then maybe you shouldn't do this as a career. I don't know. That's my opinion. But honestly, you should be having fun the whole time. You should be enjoying it. Yeah, sometimes it gets like annoying where it's like, oh, I got to edit. Excuse me. Oh, I got to, send this out to cast members. But it's like, no, like, you're choosing what you do in your life. Everybody has choices. You always have choices. And your choice is to pursue this as a career and create your own work. And honestly, like, creating your own work is going to be the best thing you ever done for yourself. Even if you hate what you made, I don't care. You made your own thing, and you get to say, I made my own thing. Like now, people are all thinking they're content creators, TikTok, Instagram, everything. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, cool. Please make something good. Please make yourself feel like you accomplished something in making something. I think that's awesome. All right, let's see what else I wrote. Yes, content. Inspiration. Okay, yeah, basically what I said before. Your experience is going on today. Another example is what's going on in the world today. What's relevant? Very important. So what is relevant right now? Well, let's think. We have a lot of ideas we can make content about. Your experience in a quarantine, your experience with the virus, if you've had it, or how you've been affected by not even having it, by just being alive as a citizen in America and just being affected by being unemployed. Another experience. The election coming up, if you're voting, if you're not voting, if you care, if you don't care, that's another topic. Black Lives Matter, another topic. There's so many things you guys can talk about right now. Hello, guys. There are so many things you guys can talk about creating your own content. I'm telling you, it's going to be the best thing you could ever do for your career, for yourself as a human, for yourself as an artist, for yourself in every aspect of your life. You're just going to feel more empowered, you're going to be more confident. There's so many things you can think about. Like, for example, what's going on in the world today, my experiences, how I use that to make my own content was I actually saw this thing, an email from this actor blast I get, and it was about people creating monologues about songs and putting them out on IG and YouTube, and making them donate money. People can donate money. It's called Donate Your Daily. So you donate how much money you would spend on a regular cup of coffee every day if you're going to work, because you're not really doing that anymore. And it would be helping children who have been affected by the virus in Britain. That was a nonprofit. And these children have disabilities, and they don't necessarily have the virus, but because the virus has not allowed them to go to the regular doctor's appointments, it's affected their health, which is like really sad. And it's happened for a lot of Americans, like including myself. I didn't go to my regular doctor's appointments, and now I'm like trying to catch up with everything, Yeah, you want to seek distribution to monetize. Yeah, that's another whole other topic we can talk about. Good. Thank you. But basically, so I made this thing, and I didn't want to just do a regular song. I was like, I love music so much. I have so many songs I love. Let me figure out splices from different parts of songs and put them together and make them into one monologue, into one song. So I used over 11 songs, and I made the monologue, and it went really well, and people enjoyed it. And then they asked me, the company, the nonprofit, they were like, actually, we're asking all the actors who submitted this with the hashtag to actually do the one song by Pink, and just do one line from it. And then we all did one line, we submitted it, and then we all brought it together, and it got produced to one whole video where it's all different people who never met each other, never saw each other, never breathed the same air, but we made content together digitally, and that's pretty awesome. Right now I'm actually making something about a PSA about voting and women I actually learned sign language for it, which is really exciting. Someone I met off of that from Instagram. So you never know who you're going to meet. You never know what's going to happen. You want to create, inspire, watch things. You know, don't try to copy anybody. Use what you have from inside you. You can get inspiration and be like, oh, I really liked what they did there. How can I use what they did in a different way that's my own and still make it not plagiarism? Like, there's other ways around it, you know, if you need ideas. I honestly find that my best ideas come from after I meditate. Just saying. Okay. I'm just going to wrap this up. Self-timer photo shoot. I discovered that for my modeling in the quarantine. You know, I really can't really do many photo shoots. But my iPhone has a self-timer photo shoot. And, like, it's pretty decent. You'd be pretty surprised with the photos I've been taking on my roof in my room. You know, with just myself and my light. And that's it. No one else is here. And it works out. No one will pursue your ideas as much as you will. No one cares about your ideas as much as you will. Another thing to remember. Remember, you got to use the hashtags, stories, feed, all these things. If you want to find producers, do some digging. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Google, email addresses. Do some digging. Like, do a little stalking. Not actually stalking, just like on the computer stalking. Remember, you are a conduit of your art. The art just needs to be heard. So produce your art, create, post, share, have your friends watch, have your families watch, and always be creating. All right. Oh my God, hello, B. I just did a whole webinar about creating your own content. But yeah, it's going to be on YouTube, so stay tuned. Love you guys. Stay tuned for other videos. I have 3 more coming up. I have a lot to do. I'm excited for you guys to keep watching. And keep your head up. You are strong. You are alive in a pandemic. And create some stuff about it. Bye!